followed D&D history for long, you're probably familiar with this. Caverns of Thracia by Janelle Jacquays and Judges Guild 1979. This is the dungeon adventure module that has become the test by which all dungeon design is measured today. We're glad that you're joining us for this adventure. Like, subscribe, and share. They have been waiting for over 1,000 years. The things that lurk beneath the waters, skulk in the darkness, and lie hungrily in the dank crypts have been patient. All around them, men and monsters bicker for the above ground. None have been bold enough to traverse the dark cavern's depths, afraid, or perhaps wise enough, to leave the forgotten vaults and hidden passages alone. And still they wait undisturbed. For you, an adventurer, are willing to brave those depths. Welcome again to Lioness. Welcome back, everyone. And to your otherworldly home. We have a bit of a dedicated group, so I'm going to do what I do with dedicated groups. I'm going to roll a die. Ginny, what happened? What I think, so obviously to the viewing public, we had the village of 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖊𝖗 sacked, and the heroes defended it. And you and Mazwick were gone at the time. And then you came back together, and they traveled to the village of 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖗𝖗. And you were there in 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖗𝖗. What happened when you all met at the inn at 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖗𝖗? That is to say, last session.
Oh, so a recap of last session.
Yeah.
We were planning to travel on to, complete the quest or geese that's been placed on Jasir, who is required to collect a black blade for a wizard. But we were met with a violent hailstorm. So, that being the case, we opted not to continue on our travels and instead explore a temple that is nearby 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖗𝖗. We delved down into that temple. We explored a few rooms and discovered that this temple is apparently dedicated to a number of dead gods that are unfamiliar to us. Deeper in, we encountered a being there that is known as the Prince. The goblins, at least in my understanding, refer to him as the Prince, is locked in some kind of war with someone named the King. We, at that point, I think that was about the time we decided to return to the surface because we were running short on time. But it was our intention to delve back into the temple and see what more we could learn.
Great recap. I'm going to actually do what I do in other games. Since you did a recap, I will add that to the additional XP.
Cool.
So, here you are. And you are at the Cahill Inn in the town of 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖗𝖗. Quick recap. 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖗𝖗, they have recently hastily built the wall themselves. Outside the wall is camping a army in a seemingly semi-permanent encampment. They have also constructed a school that every child must go secretly. That is to say, no one can see what happens there. Every child in the village is required to go there each day. There is this temple on the hill that you were talking about. It's long been abandoned, and there were disappearances, so the southwest side of the village was reinforced by guards. They have had no trouble since. They think you are mad to have gone there. You were in a 2-story inn of hewn granite. It's imposing from the outside, but it's a warm, rustic, and cozy interior on the inside with hunting trophies and thrown animal hides on the stone floor and a cozy fireplace. It is full of sentinels that represent the Baron of 𝕬𝖃𝖋𝖍𝖈𝖗. They are soldiers in the insignia and livery of the house of the Baron of 𝕬𝖃𝖋𝖍𝖈𝖗, Bogardus IV. And that's mostly who's in here, and a very cheerful madam that runs the inn, as she is making an insane amount of profit and doing very well now with the new business, and also a younger woman that helps her. For 𝕬𝖃𝖋𝖍𝖈𝖗, you can roll a d6 in the open. This is
Okay.
like a notice. It is rare enough that without
Roll a 1.
a 2 or lower, you wouldn't notice it. I usually wouldn't call for a die roll because this person is a professional. So are you. It's obvious that this person has been following you all and spying on you. What else? There was something else I was going to say that seemed important. The weather. It is the 13th of Marta of Erok, and the weather is, it's okay. It's 45 degrees Fahrenheit outside. There is a light fog that covers the nearby road. If you were to leave the road and enter the overland off the road, you would have a -2 penalty on checks to get lost without a ranger. And I suppose the other thing I just want to note is there's something else that you learned just before you left the temple. You webbed a portal, a passageway into a larger room after these creatures came out, and you slew one of them. And there was this large being that Jacquays is able to sense without a doubt is very evil. And it spoke with you. And it said that there was a chaos sorcerer who had taken habitation here in this ancient temple and had found the tomb of a warrior and his magic black blade. Now, I don't want to hide this at all. Jacquays is under some pressure here. That's not what that sorcerer in the other tower claimed is where the blade is. He claimed it was in at the bottom of the sea. You don't know, right? But if you leave, that dungeon will change, right? So I don't know yet. I'll figure out how it changes, but it's not going to just remain static. With that being said, I'm going to toss the ball over to 𝕬𝖃𝖋𝖍𝖈𝖗. What do you all want to do?
All right. Well, before we do anything else, I point out this individual that's been following us to the rest of my companions covertly. And is she familiar to any of them?
To your companions?
Yes.
You all of you have seen her. And that's the knowledge. If you ask the matron, Cadwyn Ragmain, or any of the people here, they'll gladly and cheerfully tell you that this is Verun Rayig, and she is a newcomer ever since the army arrived. She's a younger sister of one of the Sentinels, and so she came here as part of kind of the traveling band of that sort of accompanies like their family and various merchant hangers-ons and stuff that will accompany an army. And so she's sort of relocated here as part of that, and she found a job here, and everyone seems to really like her. She does a great job here.
All right. But she seems to be focusing attention on us.
You can tell that There have been moments in the last 2 weeks at night when she has been trailing you and others. As far as specific experiences, you know at one point that she followed you, and she even was conscious that you seemed to be onto her, and then she disappeared. But you are good enough at these kinds of things that you could tell that happened. And then in another instance, you could tell that she was watching one of your friends.
I think maybe my thought on this is that we proceed along with today's business. And then after we return to the inn, I might try to make an effort to corner her and find out what's going on.
All right. Sounds good to me.
Are we still in the night before, or are we into the morning?
It's the night before and the 13th.
Oh, okay.
What would you think about buying her a drink and just asking her? Like, hey, what do you want? We could do. I mean, of course, we don't have to do that now, but I mean, we might find.
No, I'm down with that. I had it in my head we were working from that morning. So yeah, let's do that. I invite her over.
Okay. She gladly takes the time to do it, especially if you buy her a drink, and she says, hello, I noticed that you all have been in town a couple of weeks now. I was hoping that you would. I was hoping you would have said hi to me before now, but I'll take a drink anyway.
All right, I'll pay for the drink. So, are you working with the army then, or did you take a job here at the inn?
She gets a drink and drinks it. She says, "I work here at the inn. Madame 𝕬𝖃𝖊𝖗 is very happy with the changes here in town. I'm not. Only not that I in any way mean any ill to our Lord Baron. It's just that I worry about my brother, after all, and I try to look out for him. You see, he's in the army, and it wasn't so long ago that nearly all of 𝕬𝖃𝖊𝖗 was... These have been very hard times. The war, I don't know if you know it, but many people here died only 2 seasons ago.
Is that the reason for this current encampment?
No. Let's see here. Turn that down. Okay. Sort of. There have been some problems, you see. During the war, these southern towns were inhabited by the enemy. And they say that there were conjurers and poisoners and sorcerers that made their way south among these lands, and they created an awful plague. Why, there's a town west of here that, well, they say awful things happen at night. The dead rise, terrible things. I even heard that the town south of here was recently sacked. And I'm no military strategist or anything like that, but it seems the Baron feels that a portion of 𝕬𝖃𝖊𝖗's army is best placed here. What have you heard? Oh, and you bought her a drink. If you spend 10 gold to buy her an evening, you can roll a d6 for some information.
I'll drop that.
Yeah, I'm willing to do that.
Okay.
Oh, you're going to pay for it?
Sure.
Hans, roll a d6.
Okay. We have a 5.
At various points throughout the night, you essentially pay for her evening. 10 gold is a lot of money. And she has a lot of friends, and a lot of people that are drawn to her. She's sort of magnetic. So at various points, other people come, although you don't, pay for them per se, or maybe she does. She offers what you give her, etc. It's a 10 gold pays for a very nice evening. Let me put it that way. And so this plays out, and it pays for her the night off. And in fact, the madam is not bothered by this. 10 gold's a lot. So at one point, one of they are talking kind of like about what's happening here. You say like, why is the army here? And somebody comes by and they're like, it's awfully strange that this is a man, a kind of middle-aged man, and has cropped short hair, balding in one place, and pale skin, but a large, hefty build. And he says, it's awfully strange, though, what they do with children. I don't know if it has something to do with the plague or the disease or the war or the other villages around here, but the Baron's taken quite an interest in our children. And maybe it's that we have so many and that we're fortunate. But it's hit our town hard. Anyone over 13 years of age has to go to the capital in 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖗𝖊𝖗.
So the army is running this school?
Yep, they set up a school for our kids. Every single child that's tall enough to toddle has to go there every single day.
And have you heard any, I know that it's not commonly known what goes on in the school, but have you heard any rumblings of what might be going on there?
No.
I mean, surely little kids talk.
They just say they play and learn stuff, and well, it's a school. We're awfully fortunate for them to have done that. Built a school here and teach every one of our children for free. Never seen anything like it myself. Well, I've got 3 kids that go to that school, all different ages. While he's talking about this, Varun is quiet. She doesn't say anything.
I think Hans would maybe like to have a word with her, with Varun. Varun's the one that's been following us, correct?
Yeah.
So, as the evening is going on, Hans would like to kind of sidle over to her and not necessarily like impose on her space, but get close enough with her that he can talk and say, fair lady, in these troubled times, with troubles all across the land, us as a party, as a group, we like to conduct our business in the open. And we're aware that you have shown some interest in us. If there's something that you would have us do, or if there's some reason for that, tell us now so that we can have it out and so that we can come to an accord over drinks in the light of the tavern instead of, harboring suspicion.
She smiles and she says, how is Hans dressed?
He's dressed, he doesn't have his armor on or anything. So he would just be dressed in common clothes. He's probably got his traveling cloak on, maybe a coat. He doesn't dress rich. He's not like a fop or anything, but he's got a coat, and he would be wearing, like, I would say, traveling clothes. So probably like a tunic and sturdy boots. And he doesn't have any weapons like prominently displayed. He would have left that stuff up in his room.
And she's seen you prepare at the inn the night before in armor, or or whatever.
She would have definitely seen him.
Seen you march out to the temple
getup.
last week, and come. So, yeah. So, she smiles and she says, "Good sir, I'm glad that you have enjoyed your time here in this village. I suspect that 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖆𝖗 will prove a home for me and my brother. I suspect the army may be here for some time. I'm very proud of my brother and his service, and I am proud of 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖗𝖋𝖍𝖆. We've held the straits of these seas of the Sea of Teeth for ages, our families have. And many have a dark mood, and they think that this is the end of 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖋𝖍𝖆. But we proved 2 seasons ago that that was not so, and that the ancestors have not forgotten us. And I suspect that 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖋𝖍𝖆 has brighter days ahead. So, I don't mean any offense at all, but you have nothing to worry from me. But, out of my concern for you, sir, I would say, perhaps you should not inquire too closely to the business of the Baron and the army here. And that also means to not ask maybe so many questions of what the army is doing. People may get the wrong idea."
Well, dear lady, surely you didn't follow us around and pursue us in stealth for 2 weeks now, just to tell us that.
There is some misunderstanding. This is a small village.
Well, you inquired earlier if we knew anything about the South, and Jasir will go ahead and say, you mentioned earlier also there were dangerous sorcerers and things of that nature. We have run into some of those in the South and repelled them to some degree of success and with some casualties. So if you're concerned with us, we intend to bring light to this land and be of help, not hinder you.
She looks shocked. She says, I'm just a serving waitress here following the army, but perhaps you should tell the magistrate. Have you spoken to someone at the camp, or perhaps
We didn't initially intend to stay too long, but we could potentially do that.
Although I think it might also be in our best interest not to broadcast our intentions to the powerful people in this town. At least for now.
This is an army from Anjumar that was stationed here. They aren't going to move south even if we tell them that there are sorcerers down there.
I think she's lying to us, y'all.
Probably. I don't think we necessarily push her further tonight.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think we've probably got all we can get, but man, I don't know. I don't know about talking to the magistrate. Not until we've gotten the blade.
Yeah, I don't know about her. She kind of strikes me as maybe she's a plant or something for, the army, so
we might get pressed into service or something if we,
Yeah. There's a part of me that really wants to stir the pot and just start spreading rumors that the school is harvesting the souls of the children.
Man, you and I are kindred spirits.
I think There might be something to investigate with the school, but for now, I think our
Oh.
pressing concern is the dungeon. Yeah.
I say we've got to get the blade. We've got to
Yeah.
do the blade first. That's got to be like number one.
Yeah.
We're talking about the one in this particular temple, right?
In this town.
I
Yeah.
thought, do you want to focus on the one in the temple, or how concerned are you about getting the one that's beneath the sea?
Well, what I'm thinking, since we have this plan to assemble a group of mercenaries, is we do that. We go down there and we take out the sorcerer directly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think so too. Yeah, I absolutely think so.
I think
Especially
for
if
now,
we-
our plan remains just go to the temple beneath this town.
Yeah.
So, Ross, before we set out really quickly, have I noticed anyone in town that would sort of count as a cut purse? I would like to approach them and see if I can throw some gold their way to have them keep an eye on this girl.
Yeah, you're easily able. So there, something that is quite known. This is sort of part of. You've put out 600 gold pieces, and that travels. I mean, we're talking about. That's enough to begin an entire. That's what is that? 60% of the cost of a thieves guild. So we're talking,
Sure.
So you have attracted a lot of talent, which I'm going to give you all this huge amount to choose from later. But yeah,
Cool.
What I will do, however, is use the Bloodsawian level generation, which I'm going to need. I'm going to need another reference for to determine the thieves level. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to use the 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖗𝖗 method. Which is just simply D4 level. Is a level 2 thief.
Cool.
This person's name is Robert Whittingham. This is actually someone from Albion. They came here at a bad time. And you want them to watch Varun? Or
Yeah, on the thought that if she's going back and reporting to someone, because I'm kind of wondering now if maybe the motive behind this isn't just the fact that we've dumped a lot of money and are hiring people, and now maybe the local authorities are concerned about what we're planning to do with those assets.
Yeah, that's what Jasir was thinking. Was do they think we're hostile? And he was trying to set them at ease. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
could have
I
been
think that.
too
I
much.
think that too. She's a scout of some kind, I would say.
But yes, I'd like them to keep them.
Okay. I have that. And then also, do you all want to hire people? That is to say, adventurers to go with you.
Did we have any last time? I forget.
No, we have not
I
had
don't
any
think
since
we did.
we haven't
We
had any
lost.
since Volnir died. Volnir died.
Yeah,
I think we should
I would-
hire some.
Yeah,
I think so
I agree.
too. Yeah.
Okay.
We have a pretty good balance, right? We have one of each main class, so we can probably just pick up whatever.
Yeah, I think
Fighters.
just a few more frontline, few fighters.
Well. Here we are. Let's see. This is a village, and you said you want frontline fighters. So do you want like here are you looking? Well, let's just see. Actually, this is a village. I'm sorry. No, this is a proper town actually. And let's see what
Fighters.
you can find.
Cleric would be fine, I think.
On short notice, you are able to find light footmen in leather, and they have shields, leather armor, and swords and spears. And you are able to find 6 of them. They're all level 1. Well, actually, I don't know that they're level 1. I'm going to use that. Let's see, it's a D6. I rolled a 6. These are 3rd level light footmen. There are 6 of them. Actually, no, that's kind of silly. Let me roll for all of them in this case. This is using 𝕬𝖃𝖊𝖗𝖍𝖗𝖋𝖍𝖈 system for this. All right. I got a level 3, a level 3, a level 2, a level 2, a level 1, and a level 3.
How about we hire the 3 level 3s?
You want to do that?
Are there any archers?
Works for me.
There are not archers. It's unfortunate.
Okay.
This is just trying to hire the night before.
They have spears, though, so we could put them in the second line, and Jasir's played it up, so he can be in the front line.
What is Nissa's charisma?
Nissa's charisma is, in fact, 13.
13. Do you know how many special hirelings you can have?
It says 5.
Okay. So let's see. That is your thief and 4 of these. So for 13, you'll want to write this down. Their morale value is 7. It provides no bonus. If they become frightened, that will start going down. That's a 2D. You'll roll 2d6 to get 7 or below if they end up frightened. The next one, Hans. Hans, if you could take 2 of them, what is your charisma?
Let me pull one of my mini spreadsheets. Ooh, he is rolling with a 9.
A 9, okay.
So I've got max 4.
All right. Let's see. A 9, same thing. Your value is 7. Let's see here. So 4, 4, 1, 4.
Okay, 7. Got it.
And if you want their names, do you want to just not know their names? Yes. Like, just don't want to know.
We got their names if they survive.
We'll ask at the end of the day.
Right.
Who are those guys anyway that we just buried?
2 of them are really foul-mouthed, and they constantly curse in a foreign language. One of them literally has a peg leg. They're all very foul-mouthed. That's what can be said of these 4 people working for Nissa. And then one of them has a dog, which can be used in combat for the one that Hans hired. That's huge.
Awesome.
It has the dog is also basically a level 1 fighter. It does 1d4 damage, AC 10, morale 9 though. So he also has a dog you can use. And then the second one seems to claim to know what you are on about. He's like, I know what you're here for. I know what you've seen. So you want to take this lot in there?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's start with an urban encounter roll. This is the next day. An urban encounter happens.
For spells, by the way, Jasir has 2 Cure Light Wounds and Detect Evil.
Sparrow has 2 sleep, 1 charm person, and 1 web.
71. And actually, that's not what I want. 1. 171. Let's see here. When you set out the next day, the mist has cleared, but the skies are overcast. It's still 45 degrees outside. Seems like the weather has been holding well for you. As you pass the marketplace just across from the inn, a small marketplace that serves the army, tries to give them trinkets and things like that. There's a man selling fishing nets, and he's like, "Listen, all of you, the coast isn't far off. There's opportunities to be had. You'll need these nets." And then he sees you all, and he points, and he says, "And there's a man here." And then he's talking to. Actually, I apologize. Before he sees you all, he's talking to a woman who's trying to sell nets to, and he says, "You'll need strong nets. I've seen it. There's things in the Sea of Teeth. There's monsters down beneath the surface. Things you can't imagine. But you got a good net, you can pull it back. You won't lose your money or your catch. You're going to need it." And Nissa, you notice that there is a piece of parchment foolishly sticking out of the woman's belt. Just like, that is not the way to go into a marketplace. Because it is not secure at all.
Can I make an attempt to grab it?
You can. You grab it easily.
Okay.
You have a parchment. You have a parchment.
Okay, I'll hang on to it for the moment.
All right. Remind me. Let's see. All right. Do you all want to do anything else with this?
Are you going to read it?
I was going to read it once we were a little distance away from them.
All right. Let's see here. Now you all travel overland. It is just about a couple of hours' journey and across these fields and into the wilderness, then up the hillside.
And as we do that, I take a look at that parchment.
Okay. This shows the point of contact of an address in 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖈𝖊𝖗 for a smuggler that can assist in getting illicit goods to and from vessels. 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖔𝖈𝖐, obviously a foreigner.
All right, I will tuck that away somewhere secure, and I'll let my companions know that this may be handy for us at a later date.
All right.
And I'll kind of relay the general gist of the parchment.
You're able to travel to the temple and climb the rocky cliffside that switchbacks. It's been carved out into steps and places overgrown without issue. Nothing. You hear and see nothing in your travels. You make it to the top of the temple and you can see how it's caved in the center. Once you look into it, once you kind of look inside, the center's caved in. It goes into a grotto. What do you do?
So what does the situation look like compared to last time? Is there any obvious sign that the goblins have reoccupied the other side of the bridge?
No, it does not look like there's any significant change. These goblins, though, obviously live here. So that is certainly so.
Well,
and you can see evidence of that being the case.
I'm inclined just to sort of press forward. almost like making a sort of a production of our crossing the bridge. We killed a number of their group last time, and I kind of thought maybe we could play off on intimidation to get across without getting hassled again.
Yeah.
If
Well,
anybody,
also, last time on our way back, we simply offered them some food and they allowed us,
oh,
pass
that's
it.
true. I've forgotten about that.
So we can always just make a deal with them again.
Let's do that. That's more of a sure thing.
Okay. This seems to work. You're able to make it across the bridge without anything bothering you, though. You think you see darting eyes at the corners of your eyes along the rocks and the crags of the grotto. And you make it to a courtyard, a stone courtyard on a rocky cliff. There's a fountain, a door that's open, 2 double doors, and a large stone structure. Now,
Do you think we should peel off? Oh, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to mention one thing. Just wanted to remind you all that we do have a convention in this game for larger dungeon explorations. We have 1 session a week, 2.5 hours, open table. So for that reason, you found a second level. So if you wanted to start at the second level, anybody that can tell me how to get there, you can start there. If you tell me wrong, something might happen. But if you know how to get there, then you can start at the second level if you prefer.
I think we should start at the second level.
I like that idea too.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
Can anybody tell me how to get there?
Can I draw on my map, or do I need to describe it?
Can you? I mean, yeah, try it out. See, do you have a draw tool? I can see.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm just using the MS Paint, so I'll put it in the Discord chat.
Oh.
You can see.
I was wondering if let's see if I can allow you to draw.
This is my little drawing.
Great cards, actors, items, tokens. Doesn't say.
I don't know if I can.
Are you all able to draw in the VTT?
I think so. Is this working? Yeah.
Oh yeah, it works.
I can see it. I don't know.
Yeah, if you want to. Yeah, okay.
I haven't done it in Foundry before. How do you draw in Foundry?
So there's a pencil, which is drawing tools, and then there's various tools, but you can do freehand, which is like a signature. It looks like a signature.
Okay. Right. So, let me change the color to make it more clear. How do I... Is this big? Okay. Right. So you see like the red? So if these are the double doors, as we enter, there's a room with the statues. Then there were doorways like this. Want to go through this doorway on the northern western doorway. From there, as you enter directly to the northwest again, there's the staircase going down.
Simple enough. Okay. So. Here we go. You are in an octagonal chamber. Let me make sure I have something easy to draw with here. Maybe like that. Sort of looks like, oh, it looks like stop sign. And there's a door to the north, and there's also a door to the east with a stone next to it. And then there's the stairs you came down. And there is, let's see. Artful depictions of deities on all of the 8 walls, covered in thick soot and utterly defaced. The door to the north is open. It leads into a corridor where there is a strange sensation coming from it.
Wasn't that corridor also painted like a galaxy or something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a god
Stars.
playing with the stars.
Sure.
Who has a light?
Hans has a bullseye lantern.
You want to use that?
Sure.
Okay. All right, Nissa, where do we go?
I would like to start exploring that that northern passageway.
Okay. You go into the northern passageway. I'm going to take all of this, and I'm going to go like this. And at the end, there is a corridor that's 40 feet long, 10 foot wide, and 15 foot high. There is a door at the end. And
We walk.
say again?
I was just going to ask, as we walk down the corridor, is the painting static? You said it was a god playing with stars. Does it move or change at all?
It doesn't seem to move, but there is a strange sensation and a noise that you hear as you walk down the hall. Where's my creepy music? And let's see, there is a door at the end. Yeah, there's a door at the end.
Okay. And I'm guessing that means it's closed. Can I give it a careful once over to look to see if there's anything amiss with it?
There doesn't appear to be. It looks like a regular wooden door with iron banding.
Okay.
And a normal stone portal that it's set within.
All right. I try to carefully open it.
Okay. You open the door.
Let me know if there's some point you want me to use detect evil, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What's the duration on that again?
1 hour, I think.
Okay.
Let me double check that. Yeah, 1 hour. Which is why I was going to wait a little bit, because it'll probably run out before we're through.
I'm willing to leave that up to your sort of judgment, honestly, because you're the priest. You're probably going to have a better sensation of it than I will.
So you see a rectangular room here. And within this rectangular room, it's about 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. It is 100 feet long and 20 feet wide. At the far east end is another door. And then to the west, on the south wall, are 2 doors. Directly ahead of you is a mill, or like a water wheel, and there is a waterfall that is flowing here from above into a centrifuge down into the water wheel. But the water wheel is jammed with something, and it's not moving. It gently laps back and forth with whatever has jammed it and kept it from moving. Meanwhile, there are 4 skeletons. And they don't appear to notice you or care about your presence when you enter. Let me find, where are my skeletons? There they are. Put them down here. They are standing on the west side of the room near the door on the southwest wall. And they are all kneeling and peering in a crack in that door, like children watching something.
I step to the side and point out the skeletons to Jasir.
Quick question.
Yeah.
How many doors are there in this room again? 3 doors?
There are 4, including the one you came in, but yeah, 3 other ones, yes.
And 1 on the west, 2 on the east, or the other way around?
The other way around. There's 1 on the east and 2 on the southwest wall.
Oh, so both are on the southwest wall. Okay.
Yeah. There's 1 on the east wall and 2 on the southwest wall.
Okay.
Yeah, do we want to go ahead and destroy these? We'll arrange
I think
ourselves
so.
in battle order first before Jasir will turn them. Or attempt to.
This reveals there are 2 others. They seem to have ambled in here. They move towards you to attack you. Declare spells.
Turn undead.
Okay. Any other spells? Nope. Okay.
Nope.
Nissa, roll a d6 for initiative.
Okay.
Oh, wait. I didn't see if they were... Well, they're not surprised. Neither are you.
Got a 6.
A 6. You are able to act first. The first thing you can do is anybody wishing to move can move. Let me know where you want to move. Theater of the mind. And then if you want to fire missiles, you can do so. As usual, you can move up to the enemies if you wish. You can only either fire a missile or attack. Or, I'm sorry, you can only either move or fire a missile. You can't do both. But if somebody moves up to the enemies, you can still shoot at them this round without hitting your allies, just to be clear.
I would say we
Nissa
move
isn't
away.
going to shoot, but yeah.
Move away rather than into them.
Everybody's going to...
Hans,
go ahead.
Hans wants to move up into melee.
Very well. Everybody else
Yeah.
moves
Nissa
away.
Nissa actually wants to move across the room over to the other side of this mill.
Okay. I assume probably Sparrow and others want to do that as well. And then maybe, do you want your hirelings to attack?
Yeah, I was going to wave the 2 footmen in leather armor forward against them.
Very well.
If we're getting into melee, then Jasir will be closer to the melee, but just a little bit back so he can do the turn.
Alrighty. All right. Let's see. They are all going to move to be able to fight all of the fighters. So they're going to kind of swarm them. And then, not really, though. You're kind of matched toe-to-toe. So, all right. And then, did anyone try to fire a missile? I don't think so. Melee. Your target is Ascending Armor Class 12 for Hans and Jasir. You would be turning undead, of course. So that. And then Nissa, if you want to roll for your folks, they have no bonus to hit right now.
Oh, sure.
There's 4 of them. And then also Hans, you can roll both for yourself, all your attacks. These are 1-hit die monsters, and you can roll for your 2.
I was gonna say, so I'll get 3. I'll get 3 swings on these guys, right? Since they're 1-hit die.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Wow. So my mooks rolled 2 18s, a 16, and a 12.
All right. They all do D6 damage.
Okay. One, 2, 3, and 6.
All right. Let's Hans, what do your folks do? And you?
All right, so let's see. Hans got all 3 hits. He got a 20, a 12, and a 15.
All right.
Wow.
All right, so he's D6. So he does a 1. He does a 3 and a 1.
Okay. You want to roll
All
for
right.
your 2 fillers as well?
Yeah. So feller number 1 got a 19, and number 2 got a 15.
All right.
Man, these dudes are doing awesome. So we got a 2, and we got a 4.
You all slay them within 10 seconds. You turn, move. I guess altogether within 15 seconds, you enter the room. Your warriors move forward and hew them all down. And
Nice.
there's just a pile of bones and weapons and things. The weapons are useless and rusted and broken. They have nothing of value on them.
So 4 of them are crowded around the most southern western door. Where would the other 2 be for?
They were behind those skeletons. You hadn't seen them until you'd moved into the room.
Okay, so they were all around that southwest door.
That's right.
Okay, well, I mean,
Did you say they were peering through a crack in the door?
That's right.
Okay. Nissa really wants to see what's blocking the waterway.
There's just an old piece of driftwood that has fallen through the waterfall and jammed into it.
And how did this mechanism work? Was this keeping the mill from running?
That's right.
Okay. I wave over one of my lunks, probably the one with the peg leg, and Nissa feigns it's like I can't pull this out, and I see if I can get the lunk to pull out the piece of driftwood.
That's
No,
messed up.
the one with the peg leg is actually the nice one. He's like, well, of course, I'd be happy to help you. The other three are really foul mouthed and nasty, and he yanks it out, and he's like, well, yeah, no problem at all. And then all of a sudden, the mill starts to run, and you hear machinery in the walls. You hear clack, 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 and there's all these machines and like you can hear like lots of mechanisms, like an unusual number that are being driven by this one motion. There's a bunch of other gears and things moving somewhere within the walls, and they echo up into the walls above you. And they specifically go above you.
Okay.
wow. If the sorcerer didn't know we were here yet, he probably does now.
Right.
Oh, he absolutely knows now.
I think maybe I will go ahead and cast a Detect Evil.
That's probably a good idea.
Okay, let's see if you
and be
detect
ready
anything
for
around
that.
you.
There it is.
I'm looking ahead to see if
It's a hypnotic quality to this music.
I hope that's okay. It's royalty-free dungeon synth, which is unusually rare.
Huh.
Not that I need to use royalty-free anymore. I'm not doing it for the podcast. That was the main reason. But here we are. And yeah, it has a... It doesn't take too much away from the gameplay. It's just odd, which is what I want. Let's see here. Let's see here. I'm gonna take a second because I'm gonna tell you, like, if there's anything evil. Yeah.
Yeah. 120 feet. Right?
I'm going to take a moment to step away. Then I'll be right back.
Okay.
And Jasir will pace along the room so he gets a good,
Right. That's a good idea.
distance in each corner. Since this is a big room.
Yeah.
I don't see anything that's explicitly evil anywhere around you within your range. If I turn out to be wrong, I will correct that and I will make up for it.
Okay.
All right.
We'll probably want to listen at the doors and try them at some point.
Do you want to
Yeah,
take
for sure.
You want to take 10 minutes and do that?
Yeah, but we'll have
Absolutely.
Nissa do the listen.
This door right here is has a big crack in it, which is both visual and you can literally just look onto the other side of the door if you choose to. That's what
I'll
all this.
listen at the doors that aren't compromised then, since they can see through them.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the ones with cracks we just look through, and then the ones that don't, listen.
So, let me start with, so whoever listened here, you didn't hear anything. Nissa, you listened here.
Okay.
You absolutely heard something. You hear a man singing some kind of, what could it be called? A chant, canticle, something. You really hate the sound that it makes, and it
Do
makes
I
you
think
want.
it's spellcasting?
No,
Okay.
I mean, I guess you wouldn't know, but
I might not know. Yeah, but
this is some sort of language, and you feel tickling under your nose, and you reach up and touch it, and your nose is bleeding. Someone is in here chanting, singing, something like that. And they're rifling through something in that room that sounds like pages of scrolls or books or tomes or something. And that's what you hear. Now, before you can react to that, over here, someone goes and they looks through that hole. Is that right?
Hans can do that.
Okay. Hans, you look through the hole, and there is a somber room on the other side. It does not look like the stone walls of the rest of these places. It looks funerary, and there are funerary tools on tables. There is a massive mirror that dominates the entire wall of the other room. It is intricately sculpted with frescoes, and as you look into it, the mirror shimmers, and now you must roleplay. You have to be a little less classical. Hans! Who in Hans's past was someone he loved dearly that he lost?
His mother, who died when he was a kid.
What did she call you?
She calls him Hansi.
Well, in 2 words, what's her personality like? NPC generator.
Okay, let's see.
Do you want me to pick something?
Overbearing and let's see, that's a good question.
Oh, that's good. Overbearing. I can work with that. Okay. Hansi! And you actually see her coalesce into the mirror. And she has her hands on her hips, and she looks at you incredulously the first time you've seen that face in whatever, 10 years. And, Hansi, what have you done? Why have you come here?
Mother? And he kind of just like he takes a step back, but he's also like, for authenticity's sake, he just opens the door. Like that's what he would do.
Open the door, and you can see there is a bunch of collapsed furniture torn up into a pile in the corner, covering the floor. Otherwise, the room looks extremely well appointed and and like as if it were used to prepare bodies. And there are mortuary tools here, and then the massive mirror on the wall. And your mother stands there looking at you with concern and love and an overbearing sense of desire for control that you remember coming back to you how this goes. And she says, Hansi, what are you doing in this place? And she says, and who can say what is here? She says that in answer to your question.
Mother, are you real?
Real? How would you know if any of this is? After we're to come into a place like this, what good would it do for me to tell you that? You have to get out of here.
Ooh.
Jasir will be looking from behind him, and he still has the detect evil going, so...
All right. You don't detect
Does
any
he-
evil.
Do you know
Jasir,
anything?
in your past, who have you lost?
Must be a sister.
In one word, what was her personality?
Very caring, maybe too much so.
What did she call you?
Jess.
A soft, feminine face looks out from the mirror, coalesces in it, and says, and reaches out as if to touch you, just in longing and fear and hope. Chassis, what are you doing here? And at the same time, you absolutely see Hans going, mother, or whatever he said, and if you say, what are you doing here? She says, this is my place.
Can Hans see her too?
No.
We can hear each other kind of talking at the mirror.
Yes.
Yeah. I would think that Jasir would have some kind of inkling that this isn't right and that they shouldn't be persisting here. So he will grab Hans and try to pull him out of the room.
And
say-
Hans is going to kind of resist him a little bit, not like in a fighting way, but just in like a wants to keep looking at the mirror, like, mother, you shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be here. You have to go back to your place of rest. Go back. It's really funny because, like, I know the conventions of the game are like the player, not the character, but it's so hilarious to me that Hans has an intelligence of 4.
Yeah.
So he would absolutely be like, he would look at Jasir and be like, why are you? She's not here for you. Why would you? Don't talk to my mother. You know, and he would be so befuddled, right? Like he would just be so, like, just confused. But he'll say to Jasir, like, look, Mother's trying to tell me. Let me hear Mother. Quiet.
Jasir will keep pulling away. Let them rest. Let them rest, and he'll keep trying to drag Hans out.
Hans will, like, let himself be pulled out kind of reluctantly, but still looking at the mirror, and Mother, go back to sleep. Mother, just go back. Go, because, like, he saw her die, right? Like she had you know, consumption, right? And so he's, you know, go back to sleep. This is no place for you. You wouldn't have ended up here. You're a saint. You are in heaven with the one true God. You can't be. And that's what would eventually convince him, like his total belief that she is in heaven. And so he'll let Jasir pull him back out of the room.
Okay. You just hear Hansi, and the door closes. You know, this shattered door. Meanwhile, Nissa, what do you do? You hear your friends saying this stuff and this happening, and then you also hear on the other side of this door there's someone who's rifling through stuff and saying something in a language that's making your nose bleed.
I'm probably getting frustrated not knowing what they're doing. So if the hirelings are nearby, I get the two footmen to watch the door. I tell them not to listen to it. And I walk over to find my friends and tell them that there's someone in the other room over there. I don't know what kind of horrible ritual he's trying to enact, but he's chanting over there. Look, it made my nose bleed.
Okay. Perhaps in that case we should muffle our ears, tie some cloth around them before we enter.
Do you want to do that?
Makes sense.
Yeah, I'll rip
Yeah.
off like a piece of cloth and stuff it in my ears.
Okay. All right, you do
And
that.
Hans will just look at Nissa and go, Mother's voice makes your nose bleed too.
Alright.
Oh man.
I guess. Well, I'm in favor of going to the east door now that we've bandaged our ears. Try to muffle the sound.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's rummaging through paper or something. I don't know what's going on. It was a masculine voice, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
He's a wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is anything out of the ordinary about the door before I attempt to open it?
No.
Okay, so before I do, I tell the two footmen, basically hand motions. As soon as I open the door, they're going to go in first. I don't want them to do anything rash, though.
So you're going to send in the hirelings first?
Yep.
All right. All right. Let's see here. This is a L-shaped, mostly rectangular room. You open the door on the northwest side is clear of the room. It is about 50 feet east to west and 60 feet north to south, except that the northeast part has a section missing. It's like an L. And this is a library, and a fairly significant one.
Oh.
There are hundreds of books in here. Let me see here. Well, it's not very clear to me.
Well, old books might be worth some coin.
There's a door in the southwest corner, And I feel like this is missing. So I think I have to look ahead a little bit. There is a ladder with it's like a trap door, like a hatch trap door open in the northeast corner. And
The ladder, so up or downwards?
it goes down.
Okay.
And there is someone rifling through books here, which you chance upon. Let's see. And let's see, you came through the northwest door. They see you, and let's see what happens. Wow. Okay, let me find them. You see on his head, on his brow, a jagged black metal crown. And I apologize. So if you want to change any of your mind on any of this is he literally came into this room. Okay, so just to kind of reveal that. Detect evil. You clearly would have also detected evil, like is obviously evil, and more specifically, the person is evil. The crown is overwhelmingly evil. He holds a staff and a black tome with a leathery outer covering and a leather clasp. And he turns and he lifts a hand and he says, "Why, hello." He smiles.
Well, I'm in favor of rushing him down.
Yeah, just here turns to the rest of the party. It's just like, get him.
What? You have sleep spell, right? Do you have a sleep spell?
I do, but I mean, I would use it in combat to try to use it, but it also, it has a max hit die limit, depending on how strong this guy is.
Okay.
What about charm person? He's probably too tough for that too.
If this guy starts throwing spells, we are in real deep trouble.
So is the consensus that we're going to hit this guy?
I think so.
Rush him or try to put him to sleep.
Well, my vote is rush him.
Well, in for a penny, in for a pound. Hans is down.
Very
All right.
well.
I tell the footman to charge.
Okay. Let's see.
Seer also joins the charge.
A ruling
Hans
in advance. So I tend to do melee attacks first. That's just to figure out what happens, but my actual understanding or the way I actually see it is that it happens simultaneously, just to be clear, of whoever acts first. So melee magic. Okay. So here we are. Declare spells.
I will declare charm person.
Very well. Let's see. Could you do me a favor and see if there's any level or HD limits on that, or tell me if there are?
I just checked, and there is not. It's just
I didn't think so.
control.
Yeah. I do think that there's something about that, but it's something really outrageous. It's something like I think dragons and vampires or something, or I might be thinking of another spell. You have to know that stat block to know that, but I don't think it applies. It's only certain things. Anyways.
Yeah. So charm person. It's just living bipeds of human size or smaller.
Yeah. All right. And vampires aren't living. Yeah, that's right. Movement and missile.
This was going to throw a dagger.
He's obviously attempting to... No, I was just going to say he's obviously trying to cast a spell. All right. Okay. So your target is armor class 20.
Do we need to roll initiative?
Ooh.
Oh, sorry. That's right. Yeah, let's see who goes first. My bad. You are able to act first. Your target is 20.
Well, that's good for the melee people.
Yeah. Let's see. Throwing a dagger. That is... how far away is he?
He's 20 feet.
Okay, so that's a 16, so misses.
Okay. Any other missiles? And everybody else that's doing melee is moving up, right? Including the cleric. Okay. Let's see. Melee and magic. So everybody can roll for their hirelings, and Jasir, everybody that's fighting can go ahead and roll to do that now.
Could my spell go off first?
It will happen simultaneously is how I'm going to rule it. So I'm going to see what happens with the melee attacks. That will also determine what happens with his spell if anybody hits a 20.
For hirelings, no bonus.
Yeah, they don't have a bonus.
Nothing for Hans or his two.
All right. In that case, let's see, your charm person, I think I just roll a save. And I need to actually look up the monster save table. Back. Monster. Oh, there we go. He needs to roll a... I have this right. No. He needs to roll a 9. Here we go. He stops just as something is about to come out of his hand. His hand changes, and then he looks down and he says, Sparrow?
My old friend.
Oh my god, we are so lucky.
You guys realize we almost died, right? Like, every single one of us almost died.
Why don't you take off that old crown of yours?
Of course. I'm so happy to see you. Why, ever since Lord 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖗 fell, I've been seeking the blade. I am still in service to it, I promise you. And he takes off the blade and puts it on the ground and comes forward and drops to his knees. You can hear them crack as the patella slides bloodily onto the stone floor and petition to you. I swear I am still in service to him.
Alright, well, you have the chance to prove it. Do you know where the blade is?
Yes, of course. Not to delay us at all, but there is supposedly a book of great power here, but there are hundreds of texts, and the book has some charm that makes it elude me. But no worry about that now. I can guide you to the blade. And he gets up, his bones crack from where he fell to his knees, and he grunts and gets onto his staff, and it actually makes him hobble over to the stairs, and he starts to climb down. With me, master.
Okay, I'll say, and what effect does this crown have?
Oh, you don't remember? This was a gift from the days of our days in Sark. This is he picks up. Well, he points to the blade or the crown because you told him to take it off. This is merely called the Crown of Chaos. Beautiful, I know. It is a very powerful and lovely item. I was gifted it in Sark by our master. It summons an army of undead around you.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
No way.
Sarah will be taking that and carefully putting that in her backpack.
do you touch it?
I'm not gonna touch it with my bare hands. I would
Okay.
essentially wrap it up very carefully.
This is a priceless but extremely evil item.
You know?
While they're talking, Nissa is going to grab just a bunch of books, anything that looks like it might
Okay.
have value, just to stuff it in her backpack.
I-
She's not really being particularly
Oh,
precious about what she grabs. So.
something else to trade in Anjima, I suppose.
I will have
Yeah.
you. I'll have you roll this then. Roll a d100 to get 10% or below, to see what
Okay.
if you get any. If you do not, you'll grab 5 books, and they'll all be of history and art and
Oh,
stuff. What is that?
I rolled a not 4.
No
that
way.
did pretty well, huh?
You pull. This pulls a book off the shelf. This man. Let me look up his name. I have to go back and kind of get my lore. Let me see. What's his name?
Sparrow, don't forget to get his spell book because he still has his
Yeah, I
spell
was
book.
gonna say, take his spell book as well. Tell him to, drop his spell book at the top as well.
Just say, can I see that for a minute? I'll give it back. I promise. I say we take this guy and go trash the giant thing and
Oh man.
take everything out.
Well, I mean, the giant thing didn't already told us we could have whatever we wanted here, really.
But he's still evil too, right?
Yeah.
You have a pet vampire. That's the coolest thing.
Well, not a vampire. Just a mage.
Yeah, chaos wizard or something.
Yeah. We do know he had a pet on the first floor that's a giant creature as well. That we avoided previously.
That could be our pet now.
Okay, don't let me forget this, but I have to sift through old notes, months
Okay.
old, to try to find the name of this chaos sorcerer, and I don't want to delay you all just for a name that you probably don't care about right now.
Yeah, and like I said, I'll be taking his spell book as well and wrapping it up as well and putting it in my bag.
Okay, yeah, he'll happily give that to you. It obviously has arcane spells in it. If you want to look at that later.
Yep.
So the book, as soon as Nissa pulls the book, you see this book. Jasir, you do not sense any evil from it. The sorcerer immediately gasps and he says, my lord, she found it. She found the text. Let's see, it's called, 2013. Where is it at? The Book of 𝕬𝖃𝖍𝖗. He looks at it with wonder. That would help us. That will help us in bringing.
All right.
I hand that book over to Sparrow. Nissa doesn't want anything to do with it. And
Okay.
Sparrow's probably going to be the one to
I'll
know what's
say, well, in what way will it help us? I'd say lead the way down the trapdoor as you speak.
All right. So do you take the book from Nissa?
Yeah, sure, I guess.
Okay. He just keeps referring to our Lord. You find that he names the blade and our Lord as synonymous. He refers to them interchangeably. He keeps emphasizing his fealty to this Lord. And 28. And he thinks he's found the blade / our Lord.
Yeah, you guys, I think the blade is, it's like the precious. It's like a proper noun. Like
Yeah,
the
it's
blade
gonna be
is
like
the Lord.
it's gonna be like Stormbringer or something like that.
Mhm.
So
Mm-hmm.
There is a small room here that this leads down to that is 30 feet by 30 feet. 30 feet by 30
should
feet.
we leave one of the footmen behind, just to kind of act as a rear guard?
Mm, maybe, but well, I suppose so. To raise the alarm if something happens.
That's my worry. Yeah.
Do we still? Did the dog come with us into the temple?
Yeah,
Because
if you
we
want.
had a dog.
Oh well,
So
I
we
guess
could
you
have.
could. Yeah, the dog could be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, in case Mother comes back.
Let me look this up because it sounds crazy. Yeah, okay. Whoops. Okay, so, please don't delete that. Small room, it's 30 feet by 30 feet. And, let's see, let's change this now. The room is decadently decorated, unlike previous rooms with frescoes and murals. Here instead is beautiful scenes of the sea. There is a marble statue in the center of the room that rises all the way to the ceiling 15 feet above that depicts a man. There is gold, the hoard of someone or something that scatters the floor in piles, thousands of pieces of it. The statue wears a shirt that is very odd. It is chainmail, and it looks like mail, but the mail is pink. And the little links are very tiny.
Is it like actual chainmail on this statue then, or is it part of the stone of the statue?
Do you go and take a closer look? You go in the room?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
You go up to the statue and
Yeah,
look
I
at
mean
it.
shiny.
These look like tiny little seashells that are all they're connected by something that's stretchy. And it looks like the whatever this is can shrink or stretch as needed. But it looks like chainmail, but it's made of these little pink shells. Let's see here. I think that is what you find in this room.
Okay.
So, you guys,
Yeah.
the blade is under the sea.
And this armor is going to let him get to it.
You think
No,
it's
man,
the same blade? I
This
mean,
is the sea.
oh, I see what you mean.
Huh.
We don't have to water breathe. We don't have to do any of that. I guarantee you. We got to search this room. And like 10 to 1, that thing is either alive or it conceals where
Okay.
the blade is. Like the
Well,
blade is either under the statue.
Well, let's ask the.
I'll just
source.
ask him. So,
Yeah.
where do you think the blade is?
I could sense our master. I swear, my lord. Please, don't punish me further. I know it's here somewhere. I could sense our lord.
Okay. Just here. Would you like to come and take a look at this book as well? This was once a place of holiness. I imagine it might be best if you look at this book.
Sure. Yeah, and also he still has detect evil going. So does he sense anything in here besides the sorcerer and the crown?
Somewhere beyond, in a chamber beyond, which he'll show you. So there's a door. I don't. It's because there's the way down here. Okay, that you came down. and then there's a door in the south, and he'll take you through that door. Let me see here. And if you go through that, there's a kind of winding passage, and it leads into another.
Well, first of all, how much gold is in this room on the ground?
Thousands.
And
2,600 gold. That's
Uh,
260
Nissa wanted
pounds.
to
Wow.
Nissa wanted to look carefully over the statue, and
Yeah.
if it's not trapped, I want to see if I can get that armor.
Oh,
I think
Yeah, I was more meaning in that room there wasn't anything evil or detected as evil.
I apologize. Well, let me back up. That's not fair. There's definitely something evil under the statue.
Oh.
okay.
Yep.
Huh.
Do you want to get the chainmail off?
Yeah, a friend Jazir, is the armor evil? Is the armor evil?
Specifically then
The
armor.
The armor is not evil.
That might
All
be
right.
the trigger.
Everything is clear except for something under the statue. Something under the statue is definitely evil. That's what he senses, I believe.
Nissa, what do you think about making the Chaos Mage, the Chaos Sorcerer, take the armor off it?
Well, do we
You
want
can see.
Bring the evil forward? We are.
And
I think maybe we keep exploring now.
Sparrow gave me that book. Jasir will
Yes.
look through the book and see if he can discern anything useful.
The Book of Ogma?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or if he can even read it. Don't know if he can.
This looks like a book of fairy tales.
You can. Well, he wasn't helpful. Is there anything about someone in
Do you
a
want to
suit?
read one of them? There are there are 6. Was there? There are 5 stories. Yeah, 5
Maybe-
stories. That's right.
Are there any that seem to be related to the sea with a quick
Yeah.
skim?
Yes.
Okay.
Jasir will read that one.
Oh dear. You're familiar with this story. You read it. This takes like 20 minutes. Takes 2 turns. Okay. Let me go ahead and check the encounters. Make sure. So we're still. Sorry. I rushed ahead. We're still in that. There's an encounter. We're still in that room,
We're in
right?
this.
Okay.
Yes,
Statue,
in the
right,
room
yeah.
with the gold statue, etc.
You guys can collect the gold while
We
while I
have
read.
the dog at the top to bark if anything comes.
Okay.
And I don't know if you want to do anything with that statue while Jasir reads also, but you can certainly do the gold.
I think I'm in favor of leave the statue for now, focus on the gold. Gather some of
You
it.
don't know how greedily Nissa is eyeing that armor.
You hear a bunch of scraping noises, and he says, "Ah, yes, my children." And there's 5 skeletons with weapons that stand and wait to do his bidding.
Well, that is quite convenient. They can accompany us as we search for the blade.
So the story. This is the story of the Lady of the Lake bestowing the blade of Albion to the one true king, and that is simply what the story is. You take the time to read the story aloud, and a light. By the way, this is in Woldish, although high and old Woldish. A light is cast upon you as you read this. You realize these stories have some power. Something, so for Jasir read this, is that right?
Yes.
You realize that something in the world has changed. Like there's like a change that's come over you. Maybe it has something to do with your being a cleric, being tied to the divine or something. You don't know what's changed in the world, but these stories, when you read them, they come alive, like it becomes real in some way. It also blesses and changes you. This story gives you the might to win one contest of strength. And you can choose if and when to do that. You can write that on your character sheet.
How much gold can you carry before you become pretty encumbered?
So, assuming no strength penalties, you can carry 300 pounds maximum before going to base before you're immobile. After 151 pounds, you're at base movement rate 3.
Okay. How do you all feel about we each take a decent chunk of the gold and then we laden up the minions?
And just split? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I think we'd leave and come back next week for more.
We still have 20 minutes to go, right? In the session.
Yes, but I worry about our way out.
Well, we could ascend again and fill out the rest of the map on the second or even the first floor if we wanted to play it safer.
Yeah.
I think we've got to figure out what about the blade, because, Jasir's got 2 weeks left.
A month, 2
And-
weeks, I believe, right?
He has
Because it
a
was the season.
month and a half to go.
He does have a month.
Yeah.
We've got to decide if we want to get the blade, and then if we can detect that the blade is evil before we've even pulled it out. The blade is obviously super evil. If we give it to that wizard, then that's a problem. So it's like, do we even want to do that? I mean, I think the money is absolutely important. The money is why we're in the dungeon. But I hesitate to just leave something that powerful just laying around.
Nissa is also super hesitant to walk away from this room without.
So yeah, let's resolve the armor. So you're saying that you take the armor, right?
If I don't see anything like a trap on the statue, Nissa would like to pull the armor.
Meanwhile, Jasir will communicate to the party sort of the feeling of the effect that he got from it. Specifically, kind of warning, seems to be some effect that the book causes that he doesn't fully understand. He should probably be cautious with it. However, the story it's the one that he knows. He'll communicate that to. It doesn't seem related to this statue, though, because this is a male statue, right? Not the Lady of the Lake. It could be.
Nissa, what blessings have you received so far since you've been down here?
Oh, one moment. I have received blessing from the death god, spared from death once, as long as I don't lose my head, and cure light wounds once, only once myself.
Okay.
I'd love to read one of the fairy tales, but I'm pretty sure with an int of 4, I don't even think Hans can read.
Are there any
I think you have
pictures in
to
the
have
book?
a 5 to read, right? Did you have to have a 5 to be literate?
I'm not sure if that was in Swords and Wizardry or not.
It sometimes gets hard keeping track of what rules are where and what engines, so...
Yeah.
As you take the armor off, you have it, and it is extremely light, and it collapses. It's nearly weightless, and it collapses to a small size. And then the door behind you closes. and then seals as a stone goes down. And then in there are ports along the walls. Water starts coming in huge amounts, just like dumping in, including a bunch of water where this port is in the northeast corner you came in. And then, let me look this up. Let's see. May have to look this up in like the AD&D monster manual. Let's see here. Something starts moving amongst the water under your feet. What do you do?
Jasir, you told us what your blessing was that you got from reading the book, right?
Yeah.
I checked the armor to Jasir. He might need to be the one to like do whatever this takes. Otherwise, is there something solid I can scramble up onto?
The statue. What do you want to do?
You said the door sealed behind us, right?
Yes, by like a stone slab that comes down.
And
This is
I assume the trapdoor is also sealed.
No, but there's water rushing in from nearby.
Oh, I forgot about the trapdoor.
Yeah, that's where we came from.
Yeah, right. We get out of here then, yes?
Okay. In order to make it up, and this is, I'm going to like go down into segments to see when this, I'm going to give you 10, and then this whole thing will be flooded, and anyone in will drown. And you will have to basically pass a save to get out. It's not going to take 10. We'll just see what happens. But there's basically water like flooding in from there. That's the trouble with that. Jasir, you take the armor?
Yeah, is this hard to expand again? Is it, or
Nope,
you
it's
said
easy.
it shrunk up?
Yep.
What happens if I replace it onto the statue?
Nothing seems to happen. You've already pissed off whatever you've pissed off, and there's something moving down amongst your legs right underneath in the water too.
Okay.
It's too long to read anything.
so-
really.
I'm going to ask the mage, do you have the ability to teleport someone?
No, Master. You know we don't have the greater seers of Lord 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖗 before he fell and was taken by the spirit of our Lord. They could do that, but I can't do this. We must do something. The blade is going to be lost to us.
I'm betting that armor lets somebody breathe underwater. Or something to do with water, given that it was composed of tiny seashells. But I suspect that now, Jasir, you probably hold the other part of solving whatever this is, having read the fable.
Maybe, yeah. So yeah, Jasir can try to put on the armor, begging forgiveness of any gods that have been insulted, and he'll say, everyone else, try to get out, and he will test that theory to see if once he has the armor on, whether
It
he feels any kind of sensation.
That's easy enough to do. The water's already at your chest, and so you go underneath, and yeah, you're weightless, and strangely, you don't have any desire to gulp air. You seem like you're fine underwater.
Yeah, I think everyone else is trying to get out of here.
Everybody's trying to get out. Everybody roll a save,
Yes.
including for all your hirelings. The hirelings will make one attempt, and if they fail, they'll also make a morale check, likely to panic and drown immediately.
So I'm rolling 4d20s for the hirelings. I don't know what their save is.
It's like 14, I think. I think that's where
I
level
rolled a
1
So we got
starts.
a 7, 7, 8, and 11 for the hirelings.
Okay, that fails. Roll 2d6 for
Nice.
a morale check.
Okay. I rolled a 7, which is their morale.
All right, it's now 6, but they do pass. You have them for now.
Seer will use his actions or whatever to assist other people ascending.
So
timing.
rolling
Yeah,
my
so-
save.
Uh,
I
if
got a
that helps
14.
them.
My save is a 13.
All right, that passes. And also, you're able to help 2 people. So who... well, that helps out the other 2 heroes. So they make it out. So now you have the other hirelings that are drowning in here.
I rolled a 20. Am I able to help anyone else up?
No, but you make it out without... so since you
Yeah,
rolled, then that is 2 hirelings. So we're down to... Nissa, if you can roll again. I'm just going to make this the last roll for them. And then
Sure.
Hans, if you could roll for your 2.
Yep, done.
Am I rolling saves again?
Just 3, though. One of them made it out. And I'm assuming you want to save the
that.
peg leg. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
I rolled 2 11s and a 2.
Okay, they perish. What about you, Hans?
Can you roll for the wizard as well?
I rolled an
Oh, yeah,
11
you-
and a 12.
That will be yours, Sparrow, so you can roll for the sorcerer.
Sure.
Or,
but I don't know
or
what
actually,
is-
pick between,
what
do you
is-
want the peg leg or the sorcerer to make it out, actually?
I rolled a 14 for the sorcerer.
Okay, that's good. What'd you say, Zach? Sorry.
11 and a 12.
Okay, that fails. Roll a 2d6.
All right, let's see. 2d6. All right, we got a 3 and a 4. So I got a 7.
A 7. Okay, a 7 passes. Roll one last time for them tonight. See if they can make it out.
Okay.
And then we're going to get back to...
Ooh. Last one was a 1.
and then there's one more, right, for the second one?
Oh, whoops. All right. Oh, he also got a 1.
All right, yeah, they perish. So all of your hirelings perish except Pegleg. And then he'll get a proper name soon. The skeletons, they're not bothered by this, and they just stand, except... yeah, they just stand there and see and eerily watch as all of a sudden this massive snake rises up. Let me see if I have a snake. I guess I don't. So it's just going to have to be this 𝕬𝖃𝖍𝖗 token for now. A huge serpent begins to coil around you, Jasir. What do you do?
Strong as he would. Yeah, he's gonna have to, I think. How is he able to get his arms around it in any purchase, or is it even too big for that?
Sure, what are you trying to do?
Like, would he be able to wrap his arms around it and use the test of, or not the test of might, the win one contest of strength and like just strangle it?
Yes, that works. You use your blessing and
Take
you
it out.
strangle it to death. You slay
Nice.
a sea serpent.
Well, that's a legend.
Jasir is my hero. I'm just saying.
You are now down in this room submerged by yourself. What do you do
Oh.
now?
Start bringing some gold up and let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, amen.
Yeah, he'll definitely, he has a good amount of sacks to work on that. Also, he'll examine, well, he doesn't have light. Is there any kind of light source down here?
No. But
Yeah.
to what end? Do you want to, like, what are you trying to do?
Well, to be able to do anything, collect coins or examine the statue.
If your goal is to
Because-
collect coins, what I'm going to say, let's see, you guys have a few minutes. I'm just going to say it takes time, and I'm going to roll for an encounter check.
Okay, let's do that. We can return for
Okay.
the rest of it in the future.
Yeah.
Oh, you get it. And there's no encounter check. You have, you push up like all of this gold, and then you put it in bags and sopping wet bags of gold that are hauled up and then tossed out and then put into other bags and stuff. You make it back to, let's see, 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖗𝖊𝖗. And with a sorcerer, peg-legged man, 5 less people, they notice this. And all of you are sopping wet as you come back into town and plop down at the tavern. Everybody eyes you. You probably want to get this gold into a room quickly. Or maybe cache it outside of town or something like that. And we can resolve all of that later.
Beautiful.
But that ends our adventure for the night. Mythic Mountains RPG is a private online play club that focuses on folk RPGs. Folk RPGs are the games that belong to all of us. They're what actually happens at a table between friends. It's their voice that has the authority on what is fun and what works for them. Weekly, we upload our games to allow others to sit in with us. The channel isn't monetized. We don't own the artwork, music, software, or games shown in these actual plays, and you can find links to their authors in the description. Like, subscribe, and share if you wish, or don't. Just like games in person, you're welcome to pull up a chair, sit in, and watch some of our games. No performances, no fancy equipment, just regular people playing folk pencil and paper role-playing games and having a good time. We hope these games will prove a source of enjoyment to anyone just wanting to listen in, anyone looking for examples of how actual groups run and play folk RPGs, and most importantly, if you haven't found your group yet, you're welcome here at ours.